this is the time that he's going to make the biggest comeback, and it's going to be just like we always wanted it to be again.
Redemption.
Now, speaking of comeback, I told you guys for a long time that I was a giant Rockford Files fan.
Yes.
And they are rebooting the show. And at one point, they were talking about doing it with Vince Vaughn. And I'm like, oh, this could be amazing.
That's interesting.
They have picked a gentleman named David Boreanaz, I think his name is. Am I saying that correctly? And here's what he's done. He played Angel in Buffy the Vampire Slayers. That went on for a lot of years. Huge hit.
David Boreanaz. Yes.
David Boreanaz. Okay, thank you. So I don't know him at all. Then he played Seeley Booth in Bones. That ran for like another 8 years.
Yeah.
And then Jason Hayes in SEAL Team, and that ran for a lot of years. So he's had like 25 years of successful network television. But here's the thing. Rockford wasn't good because it was good writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because you just bought in to James Garner as being this kind of lazy, curmudgeon, shitty guy.
Wow.
I mean, I'm going to wish this guy good luck, but I can't say, oh, this works for me. Like, I trusted Vince Vaughn to pull this off.
Sure.
But Vince would have ended up playing it like Vince. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have been my Jim Rockford.
Right. And again, I don't know a ton about Angel. You know, other than in college, my boyfriend had a roommate who was obsessed with the show, like truly obsessed. And one night we came back from a very long trip, and we came back in the middle of the night, and in the darkness we're creeping around, only to see a 6-7 foot man standing in the corner watching over us as we were getting undressed, and my boyfriend at the time screamed and lunged at it, tackled it to the ground, and it was just a cardboard cutout of David Boreanaz that his roommate had put up in our absence, life-sized, maybe even more than life-size. So that's my experience with him, really.
How did I make it all these years with having zero idea who this guy? It's like you look at these CSI shows. Some people have been on TV for 20 years. You haven't seen it because you don't watch TV the same way. Now, Earl, I know you were a Miami Vice guy. You're the only other person here old enough to have seen Rockford. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. And it was like a really cool, it was just this laid back show. And as you described, it wasn't more about solving the crimes. It was about him. It was more.
I mean, there was no such thing as good TV writing in those days. You just had a character that you were like, I could be with this character. But the plots were never big in American television. The Sopranos fucked everything up for lazy TV writers. You know what I mean? After Sopranos, people were like, we have to be better writers than they do in a movie, you know, because we have to keep this thing going. But I think up until The Sopranos, just the TV was on, and if you like the person on the show, you're like, yeah, I'm watching this show.
That's exactly how it was, and that's almost like how Angel is, aka David Boreanaz, because I watched him on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was a fan of his character. I didn't have a cardboard cutout of him, but then he moved to Bones, and I never followed him. But he was good on Buffy. Like, he had presence.
So what are you saying? You saying I'm going to lock him on Rockford?
I'm saying I'm locking him on Rockford. It's Lockford.
But here's the thing. That isn't what makes Rockford. You know what I mean? Like, this one guy is the only thing that worked.
Yeah, I feel like this person has to be incredibly, alluring to watch. And I don't know. I don't know if Boreanaz is the guy.
I'm finding out about him for the first time. I've never seen him. I wish him no ill will. But I do think maybe I should get Justin Stengel on this.
Yeah.
And Stengel's mad because I haven't watched this other show that Liz Sets Fire told me that I'm going to like. I forgot the name of it.
Banshee.
Is that it? Banshee?
Pretty sure.
Sounds too much like Banachek. That was another guy. All right, Deb just wrote, you will not like it. Like what? The Rockford or the Banshee?
You will not like Rockford Files with David Boreanaz. It's not going to be anything like. I mean, some young people might like it, but it's not going to be like Rockford
I don't think
Files.
young people are going to connect with David Boreanaz from the
The Zoomers
early
love Angel.
2000s. I don't think that's the truth.
All right, here's the situation that I'm in. I can't wait for a weekly show. I need the entire season downloaded. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't leave me fucking hanging.
Here's the thing I'm going to say about our culture with the streaming services and the way they can parcel it out or dump the whole season. And I admit this. You can't please me. Okay? I'm not going to be happy. Because there's times that I go, you dump the whole season, these assholes watch it in one night, and then I go on, and then there's spoilers. And it ruins it for me. I can't watch 9 episodes in one night. Sorry, they can. But then I turn around and go, well, I only get an hour a week. All I want to watch the next episode. I can't be pleased, and I.
But you
recognize
also have to be responsible enough not to go to the Banshee fucking sites.
Oh,
and because
I
people are going
never
to blow
would.
it out.
No, that's the problem with social media. Twitter, Instagram. If there's even an inkling of anything being socially interesting, you'll get a spoiler right in a headline, right in a post.
I'm off the grid, bro. I
That's
am
lucky.
off the grid. I don't stare at screens anymore.
That's
I check
good.
Instagram, and I check Twitter, and then just 2 more that I look into.
TikTok.
Couple of TikToks.
Yeah, TikTok. That's one of them. I didn't want to give it away because I don't like it when people bother me on there.
And then you still have your blog or no?
Vlog. I'm doing
It's
it
a
as
blog.
a vlog.
Oh,
now.
okay, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I'm literally thinking for real about doing a vlog. I'm
You
not
should.
kidding. By the way, here's a very amazing thing. I don't even think Chris or Earl know about this. Deb got a package that came in for me. And it's this couple. It's just named Jim and Jennifer. I didn't see a last name. Do you have their last name? Or so they just want to stay Jim and Jennifer. And they got me a mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We should put the picture of this thing. That first of all, just buying the thing from St. Patrick, that would have been enough for me. Let
Yes.
alone the mass. But it's so backed up. It's like a year from June. So
Wow.
a year from June, I want us all to go to St. Patrick's.
Yes.
And then when you hear my name, I want us all to applaud and just
Yes,
Like-
I'm going to.
keep saying my name until I have to walk up there and do some. Because I asked them if I could do 15 minutes. And they go,
You
no.
should be able
you
to.
know,
What?
They don't. They said because it's a full mass. So I said, you know what? You're right. 6 minutes. I'll just fucking, you know what I mean? I'll just come
Crush
in
it.
hitting hard. 3 different times today, I forgot today was a day to work. And 3 different times I was going places
Yeah.
without realizing I had a meeting at 11 and then the show.
My kids stay in a very similar state. They'll be having breakfast, and I'll be like, all right, let's get upstairs. It's time to get ready. And they go, for what? School, like we do 5 days a week. What? What's today?
Can't be true.
I've literally, I've turned into your 3rd kid.
Yeah.
Somebody called the other day, and they sometimes these people still ask if they can talk to Gail, and I'm like, yes, she's the one who does the talking.
Yes.
And the lady goes, look, your numbers come in, but I don't want you to worry about it because the numbers are always bad at first. That's why you're here. And I go like this. I want you to know something. I will never look at the numbers.
Yeah.
There won't be one time in my life I look at the numbers. The reason why, I've never looked at numbers my whole life.
Right.
And if you really didn't tell me that I was sick, I probably wouldn't even know it right now.
Yeah. Which is what I explained to her on the phone. I go, well, he's not going to want to know the numbers. So if you want anyone to know them, you can tell
Yeah.
me. But if you want no one to know him, yeah, let's loop him in for sure. And then she said, I just want to go over some of these numbers with you. And you go, I don't really like to go over the numbers. She goes, I advise, that's perfect. Exactly. All right, well, have a great day. And I'm like, all right, just as we suspected, right?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Here's the only numbers that I'm interested in. 420, and also 69.
Yeah.
And one is for being high, but the other one, and don't tell anybody this, is for sexual reasons.
Right.
Okay?
But also 311 is important
Yeah.
too.
But with each one, for each number, it's always puff, puff, pass for me. You know what I mean? No matter what I'm doing.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's too much.
I was with Chris. He was like slobber, slobber, pass. I can't do that.
Oh my
I've
God.
heard that before. My mouth's a little wet.
Can we put that on stories, Deb? Instagram stories? Look at the, Chris, you'll have to see it there, or I could just send it to you. But it's like, here's the thing. I wish that my mom was still alive so I could show her this. And now, because one time she got just excited because I bought her a medal from St. Patrick's.
Yes, that's true.
And then she'd be like, this is my St. Patrick's medal from St. Patrick's in New York.
This is
Thank
so
you, Jim and Jennifer.
sweet. Yeah, this is incredible.
Maybe we ought to do a after party since it's Sunday down at the brunch.
Oh, yeah.
Down
Yeah.
at the brunch at the Comedy Cellar. We just finished up a thing that we're doing for about the Comedy Cellar, and it's called Passing. And it's about comedians' experiences when they passed at the cellar. And I only had this idea because these guys and girls never really talk about this other than to their best friends, and then it's
Right.
done. But
Right.
anytime that those stories come up, like some of the biggest comedians that they were like, I was scared shitless when I had to do that. And, even now people will say like, Esty makes me nervous. And I'm like, it's Esty. She's the nicest person I've ever met in my life. So here's some of the comics that are going to be part of this. Colin Quinn, Adam Ferrara, Rachel Feinstein, Joe List, Lisa Traeger, Anthony DeVito, Eric Newman, Ashley Austin Morris, Ian Fidance, who we didn't even tell his whole story. He was crazy the day I interviewed him. And I think I said Nick DiPaolo, who I'm also just going to play his entire thing one day on our channel because it's fucking hysterical.
It's amazing.
People that don't agree politically with Nick will act like that's all that he is. But his sense of humor
Oh yeah,
goes
of course.
across everything.
It's incredibly funny.
He's so damn funny. And the same for Colin. You know what I mean? Like, you might not agree with Colin's historical minutia that he
You
gets in.
should though.
Yeah, he's just so great. All right, Eric, what's up?
Hey, buddies. Hey,
Hey.
talking about like streaming, Clarkson's Farm on Amazon Prime. The first season, they ran just all the episodes. You could download and watch them in one day. And the last couple of seasons now, they've split it up. This year, there's going to be 8 episodes, and they're doing 3, 3, and 2. So that this way, you don't get burned out, and you can't binge the whole thing in one sitting. And I think that works for some of these streaming.
I'm not even familiar with this show. It's about a farm?
Yeah, so it's Jeremy Clarkson, who used to host the Top Gear driving
Oh, yeah.
show.
Oh, yes,
and
yeah.
When the show ended, he he had owned a farm in England for several years, and now he has taken over running it completely. So it's reality TV. He's running this farm, and it's just everything to do with farming. And it's one of these shows that if you watch it, you have a completely different perspective of farming in general. everywhere in the world, what farmers deal with, all of it. And then there's, him, the whole thing of him mixed into it. It's hilarious, and it really kind of makes you think also when you watch it.
Farming is mind-blowing, and you don't realize it was when you were a kid. And I remember, like, my parents had a place on the eastern shore of Maryland, little summer cottage that my dad built. And we would go down there, and a farmer had put up a thing that said, "Did you eat today? Thank a farmer." And I'm like, well, it's not like, you fed me for free. You know what I mean? Like, we had a deal
Right.
on this.
You should have knocked on his door and said, "That's what the money's for."
But, now he might not even own that farm anymore. Like,
Oh, yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
of corporations have taken over farms.
Of course.
It's become a lot less romantic. And, as you get older, you start to see wasted food.
Right. Yeah.
This is a show that I highly recommend to people to watch. There's 5 seasons now. There's going to be a 6th season next year, but it's a show that I've turned a few people onto it, especially if you like Jeremy Clarkson and the whole Top Gear thing. Just it comes from a different angle or different perspective of watching him, and it's really it's something really good to watch, and you kind of give a different view on a lot of stuff as you watch it. And it is quite hilarious, actually.
Clarkston's Farm. All right. We're going to check it out. Thanks so much, dude. Appreciate it. It's weird. I can get into, like, almost any kind of TV show. But a movie, if it's dull for the first 10 minutes, I feel like I'm jumping out of a moving car to get away from it. Like, I don't know if I can put up with a boring movie anymore.
It's such a painful experience. And I'm going to give you the movie for me. And I would love to hear for you guys, what is the most boring movie that you can ever remember you experienced? But for me, I remember it viscerally because I was in the theater.
Okay.
Yeah. So my feeling on it is that if you for like a long movie, and being in the theater, like, that's already such a commitment. But mine is The English Patient.
Yeah.
When I saw the movie The English Patient, I would have been, I don't know, maybe 6th grade, 7th grade, somewhere in there. And the painful slowness, like molasses, that this movie moved. Now, here's the weird thing. I never rewatched it as an adult. And in theory, shouldn't there be some drama? I know there was a love story. I know it's about war. I know that, you know what I mean? Like, there should be drama in it.
It's famously a boring movie. Seinfeld even did an episode where Elaine was complaining about it. So here's what we're going to do. We'll give away a big prize. Find something good in the prize closet, Earl. Make sure you come up with, like, a couple of things that people can pick. It's 844 Rock God. That's 844-762-5463. Most boring movie you've ever seen. Gail's already set the table right now with The English Patient. She's already thrown the gauntlet down. 844 Rock God. That's 844-762-5463. Call in and win.
Chris, do you have a movie that you can definitively say was your most boring movie-going experience?
I got it. And this might be shocking to you, but it is The Hobbit. The Hobbit, the first Hobbit film. It came after Lord of the Rings. I'm not talking about Lord of the Rings. It's just the standalone Hobbit film.
I thought for sure you loved these movies. Am I confused?
I love the first 3. But see, here's what happened, Gail.
Okay.
They took the Hobbit, the book, right?
Yes.
It's 260 pages.
Also,
whatever
I
it
read
is.
the book and I saw the animated version of it when I was a kid.
From the 80s
Yes,
or late
right.
70s. Yeah, and that was
Right.
fantastic.
Loved it as a kid.
Oh, yeah. But they took this 280-page book or whatever and turned it into 3 movies. So
Right.
the amount of filler and
that's
just trash.
Yeah. Yes, because oftentimes you see a movie like adapted from a book that you feel the pacing is off because
Yeah.
they're like they have to go in hyperspeed to hit this. When I'm looking at you, Harry Potter series, you know what I mean? Like even when they try to make the fucking movies longer, it's still you just felt them like just cramming shit in there, and you know that they're also dropping stuff with there. The thought of just taking a very short novel
Yeah.
and then making it excruciatingly longer.
And
did you also see
it was
that?
shocking.
Did you also see that in the theater?
I did. It was one of the first movies I saw in 3D actually. And it was also a terrible experience.
You know
but I'm
what?
not even talking about that. I'm talking about the actual film itself.
That's a very good point because I do think that like a 3D experience, you're going to feel every moment. Like you become very like hyper conscious of like
Yes.
the glasses on your head. You're like way too involved.
And also they were tight on my head.
All right, 844-762-5463. Give us your most boring movie-going experience. Earl's going to pick out a couple prizes. We're going to have a couple of options. I also say this. I think that like maybe some of these, it like if you watch them when you're young, would you have a different experience now? That's very possible.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You do.
For
'Cause I don't
The
know.
Hobbit.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Because like Ron said, the movie that I mentioned is I feel like synonymous with boring. All right, let's go to Scotty in Vegas. Scotty in Vegas, what is your most boring movie going experience?
Hey, Bennington. Hope everybody is well. Ron,
Thank
continue
you.
to get better. I've been listening to you since the late 80s, early 90s in Florida. The most boring movie that I ever watched in my life was way back in the 80s, a movie called The Bell Jar.
Okay, hold on, because I read The Bell Jar, but I actually have never seen the movie. Give me what like made it. Who played the main character in it? Do you remember?
I cannot tell you who played the main character. I just know that as me and my friends sat there watching it, I mean,
You also became suicidal
seriously,
by the end?
I cannot remember a movie that moves so slow and
Right.
had so little plot action and just I just remember at one point this woman near the end of the movie just letting out this guttural scream for like 5 minutes because she was crazy and she was in
Right.
the institution, whatever. And it was, oh my gosh, to this day I'm like, how could they even make that movie and how did anybody even watch it?
I will say this: all of the movies that have been mentioned so far are novels first. Meaning, I do think that you could be in a situation where if there's a strong internal world that happens, and then you put that on the screen, you know what I mean? Like maybe it's not always a natural adaptation.
All right, well, let's go over them again. Let's go over the movies that have come up.
Okay, so we got The Bell Jar, which I'm going to be honest, I never even knew that was adapted.
Another movie's coming out of it.
I said The English Patient. Chris said The Hobbit. That's
Hobbit
where we're.
won.
Yes.
And you loved the book, right?
And he
You
loved the
Hobbit.
Loved the book.
Yeah.
Loved the book. But they dragged it. They put too much filler in, and it just threw the whole thing off. They destroyed the concept of the book if you just watch the movie.
All right, 844 Rock God, 844-762-5463. We're going to reach into the prize closet, tell you what we've got to give away. I will say this, I know one of the things you could choose is Apocalypse Now, signed by Martin Sheen.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
All right, so we're not playing games here today.
Wow.
Zero.
That's insanity.
844 Rock God, 844-762-5463. If you don't like that, we've got other prizes in there. Here is Carl in New York.
It is a classic. It's an achievement, but it's boring as hell. 2001.
2001, A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. I saw it when I was too young, and I did not like it at all. And now that I'm an adult, it's probably my least favorite of all his movies.
Yeah.
And I talk to people who are like, how can you not understand this? And I go, I haven't stayed awake throughout the whole movie.
Right. I also saw it very young. I found it visually stimulating, but I do remember saying, I'm not sure I got it. And I'm not sure I've been clued in on all the things that are supposed to be happening here.
I read the book as a kid when I was in my real heavy sci-fi days, and then I watched the movie, and I was also confused. Star Child? It's odd. It's odd.
Here's Jim in Arizona.
Hey, g'day, Gal. Trio Life with Sean Penn and Brad Pitt. What a snooze fest.
I knew this would come up.
Sister, father, mother. It's a slow moving show. It's like your own memories. And this family is as confusing to you as your own family.
Right. I do remember. I saw this in the theater. I remember it being stunning visually, like a masterpiece. And then going like, okay, we're moving really slow here, but I'm just going to let it wash over me. I'm going to let the visuals wash over me. I'm going to hear the whispers. I'm going to see the beautiful imagery, and I'm just going to have an experience. But I knew this would come up, and I understand you. I get it.
Ron in Florida, what do you got for us? Most boring movie you've ever seen?
Hey, Ron. $1,000,000, man. Think of you guys.
Thanks, brother.
Train Dreams from last year. Just excruciating. I couldn't do it.
I've actually heard that from people. It was nominated, I think, for a Best Picture.
Yeah.
And because I heard it was so dull, I did not end up watching.
Same. Especially, I was playing catch up, like in the last week or two. And I was like, man, everything I keep hearing about Train Dreams is how boring it is. And I go, that's not pushing it high up on the list for a must-see moment. So I ended up skipping it. But the vast majority of people just saying, boring, just boring.
Boring. Mark in California.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Hey.
Thanks for having me. And
Sure.
I got to say Star Wars was like a snooze for me when I was a kid because it made no sense. And I couldn't figure it out.
What year did you see it?
When it first came out.
You saw it originally. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this. Younger people whose dads have tried to get them to watch Star Wars in the 90s or the early 2000s, you can't believe how slow movies used to move in those days.
Yeah.
People expect shit to happen these days that they didn't. I remember I put on The Exorcist for my kids.
Oh, yeah.
And they were wandering around the desert and shit forever.
Yeah.
And I started with, okay, if you want to, if you feel panicky, let Dad know. I'll turn this off. And they're like, this just stinks.
Yeah, it took
Turn
a
it
long
off.
time. And when it hits, of course, horror time. It's terrifying. But yes, that was very much of the era. And with Star Wars, I think you're right. If you saw it when you're young, you know what you're getting into. But maybe a young person will watch it now and just be like, we're still on Tatooine? Like, when is this thing getting going? You know what I mean?
They're on that desert planet forever.
What we doing?
It's like half
There are no wars for a long, long time.
Yes.
Sometimes he's just staring. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which was like a weird thing that used to always happen in old movies where people would just stare off into the distance.
That's how you know it's really heavy for him.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go over here to Kevin in Colorado.
Hi, how you guys doing? So,
Good.
do you mind if I give a short synopsis after I give my answer of very short reasoning?
Sure.
All right. So, Contact with Jodie Foster. Now, this whole movie is about they receive alien contact for the first time, radio signals, and Jodie Foster's just sitting in some office and she gets an alien contact. All of this 2.5-hour movie is them with this whole deal of we have aliens, and they build this ship, and they finally go up into space. And what do we get? Her father. Spoiler alert. The aliens addressed as her father. And I walked out of that movie so angry and bored. I was like, I wanted to see an alien so bad. And they have all this drama that built up to it, and it just made me so angry and bored. And I tried to watch it as an adult again, and it still gave me the same ick. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. I appreciate it. I wish you didn't do this. Wish you would have said spoiler. But I don't know. When I'm seeing Jodie Foster and, she's checking out, like, algorithms, I'm like, something's happening here.
Yeah. You know what? This is a movie. I'm not even going to defend it. I'm just going to say, when I saw Contact, I liked it. I still like the concept of it. And I fully understand anyone who felt disappointed in the end. I get you. I just don't agree, but I get why you would feel that way.
Here's Trent in New Jersey. Trent.
Hi, Trent.
Hey, Ron. Hey, guys. Thinking about y'all, praying for you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
my movie, I cannot get this horrible comedy out of my head, is Year One with Jack Black and Michael Cera. I remember seeing it in theaters and just feeling gross after I saw it.
Right.
So,
can I just tell you what Earl wrote down?
Yeah.
He wrote down Pier 1, and I was like, you went to a furniture store.
Pier 1 Imports.
So boring.
There's some really great wicker chairs there. What's your problem with Pier 1?
Only wicker. What is wrong with you, Earl?
Some blown glass, perhaps?
It was a very bad mishearing of the word.
Well, why didn't you say to yourself, wait, Pier 1?
That's a furniture store.
Hold on, Carl in PA has Bed Bath & Beyond.
First of all, Bed Bath, I agree, but Beyond is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
I always go to the Beyond section first.
The Beyond.
Earl, did you do one?
I have not done one, but this movie was just painful to watch him use Dances with Wolves. Just
the Oscar-winning film,
Oscar-winning film,
Wolves,
and I'm just like,
the amazing thing. It goes from the Civil War into the Old West. He joins with the native people. He finds love.
I feel like I saw this movie as a very young kid, and I was very invested. So it's hard for me to imagine that, because I should have been more bored than adult Earl.
I almost got into a fist fight with Dances with Wolves because a guy in the row in front of me was talking, and I hit him. I like, hey man, trying to watch the movie. He goes, well, just read it. It's a matter of reading. I go, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Now I went to fucking 10, red ass 10.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to discuss this.
No. And by the way, that's not an excuse. Like, even if there are subtitles, for the same reason I don't like when a movie is dubbed. Like, I find that very distracting. I'd rather hear the native tongue and read it and take it in. So no, I don't want to hear talking as I'm reading anyway.
Yeah, you're in a foreign film and the guy's just fucking talking. Oh. And look, here's my biggest beef in the world anyway. I'll be somewhere in public and a guy will be on his phone and I'm hearing a half a conversation.
Hate it.
And it makes me want to fucking kill.
At this point, put it on speaker. You know what I mean? Yes. At least give me the full context.
Just give me your phone. I'm going to see how far I can throw it.
Oh, my God. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Anyway, I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Kevin Costner's acting style, which is less than zero. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But, I mean, Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're treating it like it's Pier 1 Imports over here. And I disagree.
I could, if you said Waterworld, I'd be like, yeah, I understand.
Well, bad, that wasn't boring. I guess there were a couple of boring sections.
There was some boring. Yeah, there was some. Yeah. There was some times that he was just kind of cruising on that boat and drinking his pee. Maybe that it took a long time.
Boy, I love the drinking with pee.
Exciting. I mean, that brought you in. It's very early in the film, and you went, "Wow, that's where we're at." Pee drinking.
844 Rock God. That's 844-762-5463. Your chance to call and win. Most boring movie. Simple. Yes. What's the most boring movie ever?
Bored the shit out of
Nathan, New York.
Oh, buddies. Listen, Ron, you've been a staple for me for over 20 years, and I just want to thank you. I love you so much and
thank you
about all of you.
Mm-hmm.
The most boring movie is by far Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts. Now,
can I
you're
tell
getting
you?
her in her peak. You're getting her like where people will watch her fold laundry for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But you're basically just watching a wealthy woman eating pasta, meditating, and flirting in scenic locations.
Here's the thing. I made it through Eat and Pray, but I walked out by love. I just left.
Because that's fascinating, because the reason why is the eating and the praying, both boring to watch. I'll watch people love all day long. But
was it good love? It wasn't that good of love. Ronnie in Georgia also is a controversial one.
Oh, my mother's favorite movie was Gone with the Wind. And what turned out to be the last year of her life, they released it in the theater. So I took her, and I had never sat through it, and I couldn't leave. It was miserable.
When I watched that on videotape, it took me 3 days.
Yes.
The people who love Gone with the Wind, will dress up like that. They'll have Gone with the Wind parties. A lot of ladies are like throw themselves into it.
Mm-hmm.
Earl won't watch it because of the whole pre-Civil War. Did you even try, Earl?
Started to, and then when I saw was it Hattie McDaniel and Butterfly McQueen, how they were, I just couldn't do it.
One of them was the first person of color ever to win an Oscar.
Yeah, Hattie McDaniel. And she had to sit in the back to walk all the way up to the front to get her Oscar.
Come on, she got the Oscar. Who cares where you sit?
She got the bag.
Now, here's the thing. I get it. It's very boring. It's very long. And when I started that film, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is a piece of shit. Like just the romanticism of the antebellum was very gross. And then by the end, I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to like throw myself into the story, the costume and all. And by the end, I was like, the South will rise again.
Okay, you take turn.
Yeah.
Women love it. Women love that more than men.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever her character is.
Yes.
You know, that kind of strong Southern belle. She's a steel magnolia, as they say.
Very true.
All right, this came up from Q, and that's The Happening. And I laughed pretty hard at how bad The Happening is.
I would never
I'll put it out from the worst fucking movie.
Agreed. Sure. But it's not boring because I was jaw dropped every scene, every single another line. The amount of just like one-liners that you're like, I can't believe he wrote it down, and then that person agreed to say that line. The twists, the turns, it's not good, but it's certainly not boring.
Here's Chad in Albany, most boring movie you've ever seen.
Well, it's funny because I just looked at this movie to see how long it was. I just found out it was an hour and 40 minutes, and I could have sworn it was an easy 3 hours long. But I thought 20 years ago, 25, that Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson in a comedy would be fantastic. But Lost in Translation was the most boring movie I've ever seen. And then you get all excited at the end when you hear the whisper, and you're like, oh, we're going to hear what it is at the end, and then nothing. And you walk away, you're like, what the hell?
All right, finally someone said it. We should have heard the whisper.
Chad, no.
Where were you then?
I love that movie.
Can I tell you the big problem?
Uh-huh.
He didn't fuck her. And I think if he would have, last night, just fucking railed her.
Yes.
Everybody would be like, that's the greatest movie I've ever seen. And he would have gotten the Oscar.
I'll give you this. There's a little bit more eat and pray than there was love. And you're right. We could have used a little more love.
But you love that movie, right?
Love it. I love that movie so much.
Now, I've seen the... now, I will give the benefit, if you're a person who likes plot, it isn't about plot.
Of course.
It's about feeling, you know? David, Nashville.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
All right. This goes back 50 years, but it still stays with me. We kept waiting for something to happen in this movie, and then it ended, and it was like, that was it, and it started David Bowie, The Man Who Fell to Earth.
I've actually never seen it.
It's a very strange film, and it's one of those 70s films that you can tell is experimental. You know what I mean? They're doing stuff. And so it's an alien who comes to Earth because his planet was out of water, and it's his job to, I guess, get water there. And he just comes up with these inventions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since it's the pre-computer age, it's like great sounding stereos. And you know what I mean? It's like shit that doesn't mean as much now.
Right.
And then also, he really gets into earthly vices. You know what I mean? He's drinking. You get to see Bowie's penis, which, huge bonus.
Yes.
But I get why anybody would say nothing is happening during this movie. Let's go to Danny in Texas. Danny.
Hey, Bennington, what's up?
Hey, what do you say, my man?
So I got that Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes, Romeo and Juliet. I really want to like it. I just can't get through it. And I'm going to try it one more time today. I got the DVD, so I'm going to see if I can get through it today.
Please try. Because here's the thing. If you find that boring, then it's just all Shakespeare's off the table for you, because Baz Luhrmann has made it the most palatable, I think, of any director. Of like, if you want to try to still hear it in its original text, I'm going to stimulate you visually. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to use analogy so you understand what's being said. There's so many context clues of what's happening that it makes it like it almost immediately translates it for you.
Right.
I love that movie.
And I know that you love theater, but you have to also know that when people hear Shakespeare, there's a large portion of the audience whose brain kicks off. It's like if you tried to take people who don't like baseball to a baseball game, or put on golf for people who don't enjoy golf. There's nothing you can do
and
to bring them in.
This, even among theater fans that I know, a good majority of those cannot watch Shakespeare or read Shakespeare. Like, it's a very specific thing. I know people who were like, their life's work is like, they wanted to be a playwright, and they're like, but I can't read Shakespeare, and I won't sit through Shakespeare. So I get it. Like, I get that people don't like to hear the language.
Do you know, like, I saw this come up not too long ago, that Claire Danes was offered Titanic right after, and it would have been the two of them.
Oh my God.
Coming back together. And she was like, no fucking way. And she's like, they were like, do you regret? And she goes, no. I couldn't have fucking done that back to back.
And the weird thing is, who it went to, that couldn't have been, not only did they have so much chemistry in Titanic, they've remained friends and love each other in such a very dear and intimate way that it's fascinating.
She also went through hell.
She went through hell. Oh my God, they ripped her apart. They ripped her apart for no reason, by the way.
Here's the thing. Nobody needs that kind of fame. Nobody.
No.
Nobody needs the, you gained 2 pounds, or who was that guy you were talking to? It sounds like the worst thing that could happen. Glenn in Pittsburgh, our buddy Glenn.
Hey, buddies. Speaking of Titanic, I went into this movie like already to love it, and I could not have been more bored by every single movie trope that's ever been used, and that's Avatar. It's
a tough one.
It just went on forever.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because no one talks about that film.
Ever.
And then people will say it's the most biggest, blah, 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 it's the most giant. And even the last one, people are like, this one stinks. And then you just see the numbers climbing and climbing and climbing.
Box office.
And I don't know who these people are. They're not out there beating the drum for Avatar. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yet, they're there. They're fucking there. Johnny,
water.
Rochester.
I hate to besmirch Canada's Sweetheart, but The Love Guru was one of the most boring movies I'd ever seen. Saw it in theaters. I was on a date and still cried early.
Here's a weird thing that happened. I was supposed to do an unmask with Mike Myers, and we hadn't announced it, but it was going to happen. And then this thing got such a backlash that they stopped everything they were doing. So I didn't watch the fucking movie. It was back in the DVD.
Yeah.
They'd sent me the DVD. I didn't even bother putting it in. Like, their original critics, even before you saw the box office, they were like, oh shit, this is a disaster.
Right.
And he never really recovered.
No.
He never
No, that was
really
it.
got his Mike Myers thing back.
Which is weird because he couldn't have given us more leading up to it. Okay, that's the really strange thing. And I remember seeing the trailer and going like, well, I won't be there for that. Like, that's how bad the trailer was, that like somebody who we should have had all the trust in the world go, this is silly, but I'll show up because I love you. Nope.
Here's what it was. Obviously, he grew up loving Peter Sellers. So this was going to be his career. He was going to play odd character after odd character. And whatever happened, it just didn't work out. Steve in Florida.
Hey guys, Ronnie B, love you, man.
Love you.
Summersby is the worst movie, the most bored I've ever been in my entire life. My grandmother took me to see this movie when I was a little kid. She thought it was going to be my first adult movie and I was going to love it. I have no clue what this fucking movie was about. It was so bad. It was so boring.
Is it one of those period pieces like English?
Yes.
I'm surprised this hasn't come up because this is another big divide between women and I mean, they love Howard's End and all that kind of shit. And guys are like, nothing is happening.
Yes.
They're having another lunch. Now they're sitting outside with hats on.
Yeah.
You start going fucking crazy.
I saw Dances with Wolves a couple years before, and I thought that movie was amazing. So, same little kid saw that movie, and I don't know, Summersby was horrible. Thanks, guys.
I've never seen it, but I do like a period piece. But yes, if it's not working well, of course, that would be very tedious because they're slow moving, and also the romance is very subtle.
Yes,
it's like a touch. Oh,
right.
we brushed.
We will be giving out a winner here. Well, I'm not going to have Earl vote on this one. I think this is going to be straight Chris Stanley, and that means don't blame me, don't blame Gail,
Please don't.
blame Deb. It's all going to be Chris's fault.
Yes,
now, here's the things that we have already told you. Apocalypse Now, signed by Martin Sheen. Howard's End, signed by Vanessa Redgrave. That's before I even knew.
Yeah,
that's a big one. This one is stunning to me. Fisher King, signed by Jeff Bridges.
That's awesome.
Oh, these are really good.
And, of course, if you don't like any of them, we have signed posters by us. But, I would pick one of these things.
Yeah,
I was always upset that Jeff Bridges didn't get the part of Nash Bridges back in the 90s.
It's right there for you.
It's right there. Bridges on Bridges. Just didn't happen. Cameron, Rochester.
Hello, sir. First of all,
Hey.
I've got to say that I'm just too after my son-in-law, Johnny, from Rochester, that I turned on to the show. Because you are
great.
such an amazing show. So hats off
great.
to him.
All right. What do you got for us?
So I would like to say it's Chariots of Fire, but it's got kind of a weird reason. I grew up in Toronto. I was 12 or 13 years old, and I took the subway downtown to watch it. I was all excited to see Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I went and I saw a big billboard over a movie theater, said Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I went in there, 1 ticket, please. They gave me my ticket. And I sat down, and it was really boring. And I was really confused where the guy with the whip was that I was promised. And I just sat through the whole damn movie by myself, not knowing what was going on. And then I realized after it was the wrong movie. So,
Well, first of all, that's a horrible story.
That's so sad.
That's
so
childhood
awful.
trauma.
Yeah.
Now, I think Chariots of Fire won the Oscar, too. They had that famous Vangelis song, dun, 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 that has been parodied in about another 80 movies. But not a great deal is happening. And then at one point, a guy is listening to the radio why his guy wins the race because he isn't allowed to go in for some reason. And he takes his straw hat and he punches his fist through the hat. And I was at the theater going, finally, action.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I watched that movie because of the Vangelis song. And I was like, oh, the song's so much better than whatever the fuck's happening on screen.
Well, I mean, even the thing where the guys are running through the thing of the ocean, and you see that, and you're like, this looks fantastic. But it's slow. It's slow. Peter in Ontario.
Guys, hey there, guys. First of all, let me say it was a pleasure and an honor to send you get well wishes on your digital wall.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
But
you.
my boring movie, The Gods Must Be Crazy, Part 2. I saw Part 1, thought it was funny, went to Part 2. My date and I walked out. It was just dull as dirt.
I'm going to be honest. They sold these movies as if they were hilarious. And I felt like we were laughing at indigenous people. You know what I mean? It wasn't even like,
right.
The whole thought of look at these people. But it also wasn't funny to me. Like there was no part. I don't even think I made it to 2. I think I walked out of 1. I just remember a Coca-Cola bottle fell out of the sky and landed on an African, and it started his whole trek.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, this is a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Dark.
I don't really enjoy that concept. Yeah. Mm.
Let's go over to Nick in Vermont.
Hey, how you doing, Bennington?
Good.
Hey.
My movie is actually, it was my dad's least favorite movie of all time. He used to record everything we watched on VHS, and we had like hundreds of them. And we watched Fried Green Tomatoes. He fell asleep, I feel like 75 times through that movie. And by the end of it, on the little VHS, he just rated it D for boring.
Now, here's the funny thing about that movie. It did really well. It was a small movie. But the thing about it that I couldn't believe is that the person who wrote it was Fannie Flagg, who I'd only known her from being on Match Game like 25 years earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, big-titted Fannie Flagg sat down and wrote a movie? And now, if you go, there's always Fried Green Tomatoes when you're down south, and they are not good. There is no reason to put that on the menu.
It's shocking, isn't it? Because I remember as a kid, the movie came out, and my parents watched it, and I watched it. I wasn't paying attention, but the term fried green tomatoes just stuck in my head. And when I actually had them, I was like, this sucks. Why'd they name this movie this?
Here's the thing, and I lived down south. There were no fried green tomatoes available anywhere that I ever was.
Wasn't that big? Yeah.
No, I mean 0.
Yeah.
Like if you would have said you have fried green tomatoes, the people would have said, huh, back at you. And then after that movie, every place had it.
Yeah.
So like I would eat it and I go, this is no good. And then I would go, and without the fried green tomatoes, they're like, it comes with fried green tomatoes.
You're going to enjoy
we
it.
put it on every fucking plate. I go, all right. So then I would always take a bite. And I'm like, I don't fucking understand what we're doing here.
It's strange.
I mean, I love all the women in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't
Great
even remember
cast.
who the women were.
Mary Louise Parker's in it. Mary Stuart Masterson. Kathy Bates. Jessica Tandy.
Fried green tomatoes.
Tomatoes. I'm going to be honest. That's all I remember from it. Is that
Yeah.
exact
You know why?
fried green tomatoes.
Watley used to fucking do it every time
that's
we
what
went
it
out to
is.
dinner. Dave in Virginia.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? Gandhi is by far my brother. My older brother's 4 years older, and I was trying to hang out with him and his buddies when I was a kid, grade 12, and he was just trying to get rid of me, and he told me Gandhi had nudity in it. So I watched hours and hours of fucking Gandhi, and just to be, the payoff at the end was there's no nudity in Gandhi.
I mean, I guess he's kind of scantily clad, but
If you notice these things, this was another Oscar winner.
Yes.
And during the shitty movies of the 80s that Earl loved so much, every year they would pick the most boring fucking movie that they could. And when Gandhi came out, I went to see it. And I get to the concession stand, and they were like, popcorn and Gandhi, $3.50. So I had to order it that way to get the special discount price.
Yes, I've gotten.
And they were like, "You sure you don't want any more Gandhi?" And I'm like, I was so mad.
Gandhi.
But
that sounds good.
the shitty 80s, they went out of their way for everybody to love every piece of shit movie, and then they would take something that was as dull as fucking dishwater and hand it the Oscar.
That was the MO then.
Now they're doing Amadeus as a fucking TV show on Stars. And I'm like, are you telling me you want to stretch out Amadeus?
I remember it being quite lengthy.
I watched on a flight, and I think I liked it more than I would have had I been on the ground, but I was invested on the flight.
Well, here's the thing. The guy who played Amadeus, they picked a fucking guy that was in, like, didn't belong there at all.
No.
That's an interesting casting choice.
Yeah, I mean, he was from Animal House.
Yeah.
Right? So the guy from Animal House gets this thing. He obviously can't fucking play piano, and he's not a fucking charismatic guy. You know what I mean? Like, there was talk at first that it was going to be Sting. Like, put a rock star in that thing. And then they said, Sting can't act. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but the casting is strange because you want somebody who is like charismatic. You want to explain that this is during a classical music era, a rock star, and is like riddled with ADHD. So you're going to have to like want to spend time with that character and his wildness. And I remember, that casting is very weird. I don't know if that guy was right for it.
And of course, the guy who plays the other one, Sarah Larry, he's unpleasant just to look at.
F. Murray Abraham,
Here's, and what's the F stand for?
I'm not sure. I'm looking.
If you don't want to say the name, don't put a fucking initial there.
I'm gonna assume the worst if it's F.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I refer to him that way. Mark in California.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Castaway with Tom Hanks came out in 2000. Seriously, it was unbelievably just dull.
Well, what human can play by themselves, and you're going to stay for a whole movie?
Yeah, I mean, it's asking so much from the audience. It's asking so much. And I will say this, didn't work with him, but I don't think it could work with anyone. I just, it wasn't, it's dull. Yeah.
I yelled in the thing when he was crying, "It's a soccer ball, dude. Let's fucking get you back to Holly Hutter." But let me tell you something. When he left and then Holly Hunter came running out and they're hugging in the rain or whatever the fuck it is, and they know that time has passed, so they're not going to be together. So here's the love of your life.
Yeah.
And you're saying goodbye because, you're star-crossed. It just didn't work.
Right.
It made me forget the whole rest of the fucking movie.
That's a good point. Yeah. And then the ending is kind of like a cliffhanger where you're like, you think perhaps it's serendipity, right? This package that he's held on for, and we've had the teaser of this woman who was the artist who made the thing, this angel package, and then we see him driving up to her place, and then we're just like, I hope it works out. It's just a cliffhanger.
It didn't.
How would it? He's already nuts.
Yeah,
he's not going to be able to fucking sleep inside.
He's
you know what I mean? He's not well, and quite frankly, she's a bitch. I mean, she is a bitch. And none of her relationships have worked out. Look how old she is, and she's single.
I remember going into that movie, watching it, and going into it, I thought it was a true story, and didn't realize it wasn't a true story until years later. And that's why I was really interested in seeing it. I swear to God. And I was like, oh man, it's crazy. This actually really happened. And I'm thinking this in the fucking movie theater. This is, wow, he talked to the fucking soccer ball, huh?
All right. How did you get into your noggin that you were the
What
only
was the
human.
reason?
I gotta see how old I was when this fucking thing came out. Because out off the internet,
You were enough. You were old enough not to
I was
just assume.
17, and thought that
Okay.
shit was the true story. and I
No,
don't know
man.
why. I just made it up in my head and kept repeating
Chris,
it in my
when
head.
I was 17, I was married, so I'm not going to give you anything.
So I thought it was great the first time.
Here's Charles in Chicago.
Yeah.
Hello, Charles.
1981, My Dinner with Andre.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, here's the thing. I saw My Breakfast with Blassie, and it was much better. But Freddie Blassie has everything. I mean, it was a crazy thing, but
Yeah.
there was a scene that was so fucking great because they're talking about like I don't know, something that was so negative, it was almost pure horror, and then the waiter comes over. And he goes, "Is everything okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, great." And I'm like, you know how many times that's happened to me? You know what I mean? I've been in a
Yes.
breakup or hearing
Right.
a fucking trauma story from somebody, and you just tell the waiter that everything's fantastic.
It's great. It's so good.
I love Wallace Shawn, so I have to throw that out there. I mean, it's getting a lot of passes just from
Okay.
being.
But here's the thing
50%
about Wallace Shawn. You want him as the character actor, a small part.
Sure.
You're spending
It's a lot of
an
Wall-
entire
Wally.
2 hours with Wallace Shawn. And one time, Fez and I used to go back and forth from New York to D.C., and we were on that train. And it's a standard train where you run into a bunch of news people, you know what I mean? Because they go back and forth. And sometimes you run into political people. But there was a person on the plane that was from NPR. And their job was to run into people and then interview them and just notice who they were, find out why they were on this train and if they wanted to talk. And standing right next to me, the person stops, Wallace Shawn. And then Wallace Shawn just starts talking. And he's like, yeah, 2 people on a train. And then the next thing you know, they're in a conversation. And they've met each other before, of course, at dinner parties. And they're like, I'm like, this guy is not a good actor. He's just fucking Wallace Shawn.
Yes. Yeah. He is a character.
Like,
is an
I was there in a Wallace Shawn movie
Right.
while he was just going over the concept in his head of being stopped to be interviewed on a train. And he, by the way, he thought it was fantastic. You know, he couldn't have been more happy about it.
By the way, I have to bring this up because it always makes me laugh. But in Waiting for Guffman, in the end, when he has that store that it has different like Hollywood movie like memorabilia.
Yeah.
And he's like, My Dinner with Andre action figures, and the kids love this too. And you can make up your own. He's just like, oh, how did you just get a reservation at this time of night? Oh, I just called and made up a reservation. He goes, that's not from the movie, but you could just make it up. Like, all he knows is the name of the movie is My Dinner with Andre, and he thinks that the premise is just talking about how you got a reservation at this nice restaurant.
Here's Jordan in Colorado. Jordan.
Hey, Ronnie B. Love you. Left you a message on the wall. Appreciate
great,
the
thanks.
opportunity to do that. Yeah, this is stupid, but your people won't correct you. I think it was Helen Hunt, not Holly Hunter in Castaway.
Well, you're 100% right. Did I say Holly Hunter?
No, you didn't. You said Helen Hunt.
Okay.
Yeah. Deb is saying yes, I did.
So Deb didn't correct you because I thought you said Helen Hunt.
Earl, what did I say?
Is that Holly Hunter?
And you corrected me when?
I did not.
Okay, Earl, I want you to understand something. I'm dealing with a disease, okay?
Yes.
Do you know what the disease is?
It's bad.
What disease
is it?
It's
Do you know?
cancer.
Really? What stage am I?
You are stage 4.
You think this is the way I want to be remembered? As somebody who doesn't know the difference between Helen Hunt and fucking Holly Hunter? You think that's they're like, oh, did you hear who passed away? This fucking idiot who had no idea who some of the biggest actresses of all time.
No one's going to say that.
Plenty of people. Can I tell you one who will? Jordan from Colorado. And
he ain't winning shit.
He just left a message on the wall.
You're going to punish him for that, Chris.
He just left a message on the wall. Oh, I always loved Ron Bennington. He could not tell difference between two well-known actresses. Jordan, first of all, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm going to send you in. No. You were right to do it. You know what?
The correct move.
I should go to hell and hunt right now. That's how bad.
Dude, no, not that first part.
Earl, put him into the prize closet. Not one of the 3 big prizes.
Yeah, one of the medium to small.
Something that maybe has a jagged edge where he could cut his thumb on it. Boy, the joy in listen, Earl. Bennington, what did he say wrong this time?
Earl, do not answer the phone like that.
Bennington's corrections department.
You son of a bitch, Earl. You son of a bitch.
And then he heard it. Like, in my mind, I heard Helen Hunt. I just accepted it.
But why are you guys making mistakes?
I don't know. I mean, I correct you recently.
I don't think so.
Yes, it was very recent. I can't remember. And I said it was like, you said
I know what it was. I remember this. I said something correct, and then you changed it and made me say something incorrect.
Well, I thought that'd be funny.
Yeah, and you were sending messages to Amy Miller, like, did it again. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep making these mistakes. I
Just
really
one.
I used to be so good at radio.
You know what? You are so good at radio. You know what's sick about Earl is that he took that call and then put it up and didn't even try to, like, save face for himself. You know what I mean? Or give you a heads up. It's
I remember what it is.
Telling.
You called Ryan Reynolds Ryan Gosling, and then I corrected you. Okay? So
Actually,
I did do that recently.
After I accused him of being a fire starter.
He could be.
I saw this thing that made me laugh on the comments things that our little Serena wrote. Now I can't find it. See if you guys can find it. She left a comment on the "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls."
I love our Serena.
But then I saw something that even choked me up. Mike Bichetti, are you ready for this?
Yes,
He wrote, Ron, thank for helping us chase our dreams. Love you.
Oh, that's really so
sweet. You know
sweet.
why? I got him together with the Fonz, and that was a dream of his.
Got the Serena.
Oh, yeah. So here's what she wrote during the Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, right? She just writes, whoa, buddy, I think you're moving too fast. It's the whoa, buddy that was hysterical. When do we get her back?
Second week of June 13th, I believe.
So that's like 3 weeks away?
Roughly, yes.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean roughly?
It's about 4 weeks away, if I'm going to be totally honest.
Okay, so you're off by a week. That's 25%.
Don't protect him from the date.
That's roughly. It's a rough ballpark.
By the way, Gail, I got to tell you about your friend Omi. That you put above all, and you're like, he gives me the wisdom I never got from my father.
Yes, I do say that.
He's walking down the street somewhere, and they're having one of those dumb block parties, right? And he orders the sausage and peppers for himself. And then they wrap it and they hand it to him. And he hadn't asked how much it was for. And the guy says $20. And he said he was fucking furious, but he didn't want to act like, hey, I don't have $20.
Right,
so he fucking paid it.
The sandwich is already made. Like, that's a terrible feeling. Oh, that's an awful feeling.
That's it's
a really you're like, that's not really what I thought I'd be paying for my lunch, but here you go.
Here's where we are, though, in these modern times. I've been out to diners in the city, 2 people, breakfast, and then I hear $75. And I'm like, I remember paying $75 2 people for dinner.
Right.
This is fucking eggs,
this is eggs,
bacon, and toast.
I actually remember the first time it happened. Like I was, you're aware of the rising prices, but it was a midtown diner and you and I had like eggs and bacon. And it was like almost $100 with tip. And I was like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing what this bill is? And you're like, that's unbelievable. And I was like, I've never like poured over the bill. I was sitting there like, I don't think this is physically possible.
Tariffs.
And I remember, and shut up, Chris. He just whispers, tariffs. Tariffs. Chris.
You know why? Because he's a reader.
You know what, Chris? You know what it is? It's fatflation is what it is.
God damn it.
Oh, all right. Hold on. This is fucking crazy. I just got this from Glenn. So David, and I'm going to say his name, what?
Boreanaz.
All right. David Boreanaz is a Philly guy. His dad is Dave Roberts from ABC Action News. Dave Roberts is like the fucking whitest, most square news guy that I ever remembered. How did this kid end up with this last name?
Yeah, how is he Boreanaz?
And this unbelievable fucking career that escaped me completely.
So I've looked into this, and Dave, his full name is David Thomas Boreanaz. Changed it to Roberts for broadcast.
Oh, to get on the news.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so it's like what Martin Sheen's kid did, Emilio Estevez.
Yes.
Because Martin Sheen didn't have the balls to call
He
himself
didn't.
Martin Estevez.
And I love that. It's just like, you know what? I'm Estevez, you son of a bitch.
You know what I like? Charlie Sheen going in the other direction. Like, I'm not like him, Pop.
Yeah, I want to be good with you, Daddy. He's kind of the Chris Stanley of the two of them.
Well, when
I
it comes
love
to
him.
drug abuse,
Yes.
yes.
And I'm definitely the Estevez. And I don't know what other brothers exist, but if they do, it's Earl.
There's a Joe Estevez. It really is.
Is there?
Yeah, he's like a character actor, but like even less than. But he's
Is he
great.
very Earl?
Hangs out with Tim Heidecker a lot for some reason.
Is that right?
Now I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Heidecker's into this whole thing now.
It's hysterical. It's so bizarre.
I'm worried that he's going to blow his voice out doing that. Because it's not comfortable to sustain.
He doesn't need it. We got to pick a winner. Oh, shit. We went way too long. All right. Chris Stanley, that's going to be up to you. You're going to surprise us. I don't want you to even tell anybody.
No, don't
before
even.
you choose. And I promise I will back you 100%.
I know I will.
This is what I like. This is friendship. Camaraderie.
Friendship. That's what it's all about, right? We ought to
It
get
can be.
friendship braces.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do you think it looks bad if a guy's wearing a friendship bracelet?
No, I'm wearing two
Looks like
right
it-
now.
I know, but that's a girl. When a guy does it, it looks like he just came in from Epstein Island. Something terrible happened.
A child
let's
made
get-
me this.
Let's just get friendship bracelets that just say Epstein Island.
Oh, God.
I don't think that's good.
No,
And
it's really bad.
I don't know how many of those guys are in China right now, but there's a few of them.
The
All right,
dude?
break.
Oh.
All right, what do you want to say?
What do you
The
want to say
dude?
about the dude? The
The
dude?
dude who owns Epstein's Island now, he's starting to like do like
Thanks. We're stopping that. It can't be constant conspiracy things. All right, let the dude bought the island. Okay, go ahead, say it.
Say it.
But
No,
a lot
I need to know.
of so many YouTubers are going there and harassing everyone on the island that they're starting to get arrested. The guys like has security around the island to finally stop all
So
the YouTubers.
they get arrested. They get arrested.
Yo,
They get
interesting.
arrested.
Right.
They get arrested.
I knew you were going to make us mad, and now I bet you're going to have a shitty pick for.
No,
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
No, I know you're great at that. I love you. All right, we're right back, Bennington.
Faction Talk 103, it's the Bennington Show. Faction Talk 103, it's the Bennington Show.
Yeah, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Is Chris Stanley going to make the kind of pick that we could all be proud of? Or once again, is he going to Earl the Pooch? Or screw the Earl? I don't know what the actual thing is.
Second one, please.
Chris Stanley, we're looking for the dullest, most boring movie of all time. What do you got? Turn your mic on.
He doesn't have his mic on.
Oh, look who just Earled the Pooch. You know what? Maybe I should take this away.
Oh my
I have
God.
a winner.
Why wouldn't you have your mic on for such a big occasion?
Because I turned it off at the break and then forgot to turn it on as we were coming back.
As you do daily.
Yes.
Every second break
And then you
starts
forgot to
with-
turn my mic on. And then I was speaking and then went, oh, no one can hear me.
All right.
I'm gonna bounce back from this. The winner.
Start it from the beginning. Like, announce what the contest was. How many great people.
So many great people just called in for this contest. The question: what is the most boring film of all
Well, you know
time?
what? Let's take it from the beginning.
Okay.
You're a little nervous. You're about to say something terrible.
No,
Let's
very
see
important.
If you can pull it off.
I'm
scared. There's nothing terrible about this winner of the question, what is the most boring movie ever made? The winner, Cameron from Rochester with Chariots of Fire.
Okay. It's a classic, but... Wow, actually!
Chris, I know you don't understand comedy, but it'd been so much funnier if you would have let us slow clap you in, you know what I mean, like the movie. Then you start clapping, and then now was the point of the slow clap.
Right.
Now, by the way, I do disagree with this, and I thought he was from Toronto, not Rochester. Am I wrong? It was Rochester?
It was Rochester, New York.
Yeah. Well, it's close. I mean,
sure.
You know,
You're already up there.
Rochester is the Canada of New York. Chris Stanley just did something rare. He stopped himself from sneezing on the air. It's a very rare thing.
Yes.
And all the years I've done radio, I've never seen people like be shocked by a sneeze.
Yeah.
But
it
you
was
did
a
it,
lot
big
right
man.
there. You know, I pulled it out after earling the dog, the pooch.
Holy the dog.
You fucking Earled the Douglas is what you did. But you know what? You came back and you crushed it with
You really
Chariots
did.
of Fire.
Chariots of Snores.
Although, I'm going to be honest, at least it had some track and field in it. I definitely would have went with Gandhi.
Gandhi
think
was
that's
up
a good
there,
one.
too.
By the way, people don't even know this. I think Gandhi was the first film that Daniel Day-Lewis was ever in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went
didn't know
around
that.
and tried to grab everybody in England to play the white people.
Right.
They were so nervous about this film, like, are white people going to go see Gandhi, that they just had to keep peppering. And you would see a white guy come in and just do one scene and walk out. You know? You're
So
like,
you
was that
must
Peter
be
O'Toole?
Gandhi.
Was that Richard Burton? By the way, I don't even know if I've ever seen a Richard Burton film that didn't bore the shit out of me.
Also, Ron, I'm going to back you up. Gandhi was the first film he ever acted in. Everything else was
First
TV.
film Gandhi ever worked in? acted in?
Wow.
Daniel Day-Lewis ever acted
So
in.
that's what you want to say instead of
Yes.
because we moved
Yes.
on. Yes, I know. And then he did My Beautiful Laundrette, which is also fucking boring as shit.
I'm looking for the most boring roles out there.
I just also have to say this. A lot of people writing some nice things, and a lot of people are trying to correct me on Waterfalls. It isn't one of my favorite fucking songs, but you know, there are not a lot of songs about waterfalls.
Sure. No, of course.
I wish there were more.
There should be.
If I had my way, I'd have a Rolling Stones song about waterfalls. So I actually did turn around and put up another song on there today. Because you got to, you know what I mean? You got to with these people.
Can I ask you guys a quick
Let me
question?
just tell you, I put up a Kurt Vile and Courtney Barnett
Oh, I
song.
love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now ask away.
But I just want to say, Kurt Vile and Courtney Barnett was a concert that I went to right before I knew I was pregnant. So I was pregnant with Juju when I went to go see both of them.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're cool because I like lazy singing.
Yes, me too.
I like people that don't sing so fucking hard. You know what I mean?
I wanted to ask you guys a Instagram related question. What is this new portrait, unedited portraits, and it just showed up? And you go to open your messages, and then in the corner there's people who take extreme close-ups, and it's in my way, and I'm confused. And every time I click it, I'm afraid I'm going to take a self-facing picture. Why do we add weird features to social media?
I'm not even familiar with this.
It's just started last night.
Oh.
It just started last night.
All right, send us once because I don't get it.
Okay. By the way,
I'm off the grid completely. I mean, I'm just on TikTok, Instagram, and X. And
so here's
and
one.
Facebook.
And it is this extreme close-up of Rowie, former intern and comedian Rowie. He has about 15 of them. Then I go to click away from it. I don't know, maybe I just liked it. Maybe I just took a selfie of myself. I'm very confused and scared. But this showed up late last night. And now when I open my messages, I'm afraid I'm going to do something weird.
They're constantly beta testing different things to throw at you. It's and then some people get it, some people don't, but they're all just constantly testing.
That's a good point. Sometimes they'll like slow roll out a new feature. So you'll go like, what's the deal with this new Instagram thing? And half the people are going, I don't know what you're talking about.
And they do that on purpose to make people want to use it. It's fucked up.
Well, it's pretty annoying. And here's Greg Stone. Greg Stone jumped in on it. Seems like our comedian
This looks
friends.
good, though.
Our comedian friends.
Comedians
have jumped in.
want to be first. By the way, Rowie just wrote me so much stuff that I know he's trying to be helpful, but it was not. You know, when he was talking
Sure.
about
I believe
Hail
that.
Mary, and then he writes, just try to look to the future. Imagine the new kids at the cellar watching you do your cancer material in the 500th time in a row. And there's like, he's still talking about that? Move on, bro.
Okay. Here's Ian Fidance's cat. I mean, even Ian's cat isn't on this new feature. I don't understand it. And
Earl, I want you to put one out.
yes, I think it's supposed to be like a big close up. And like, did these people send this directly to me? Everyone can see this. I'm very confused.
They're probably forcing it on you.
I don't know what I'm
All right.
looking at.
All right, I just got a thing from Runty that said, please thank Earl for checking on me while I was on hold. He's sweet. Have a great rest of the show. I didn't even know she was on hold, Earl.
Oh.
Yes, she was on hold, and I just wanted to make sure.
Hall and hold. Why didn't you
Hall and
let me know?
Oates. She's Hall and Oates over there.
What was her thing going to be?
I believe it was going to.
It's Rat Race Reboot.
I don't even know what that is. I've never heard
It's a
of
2001 reboot of Rat Race. It was
What
terrible.
was Rat Race?
It was like a movie from the 50s, the initial one.
So that's it. Yeah, no.
Oh wait, no, it's a reboot of Mad World. That's it.
Okay, thanks. That I liked. But it actually also wasn't good. I'm going to say it. It had a lot of stars in it.
It is funny
A lot of
when they
comedy
reboot
stars.
a movie that isn't that great to begin with.
I love a reboot. You know what I mean? I get to see it again. Criterion is doing just the original and then reboots of movies. And they have the two Breathlesses on, right?
Oh, nice.
And so I put on the 84 Breathless.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as I remember.
Really? Because I need to rewatch
Yes.
that.
Criterion, come on over tonight. I know you don't have Criterion. Your brother's here. Come on over
Yeah.
and the two of you together watch.
Because I loved that movie when I saw it. I thought it was excellent. I'm embarrassed to say I actually saw that one. before the original.
Yes, of course. Well, you were a little kid when you saw it.
Yeah.
It was on cable.
But I like both. I really like both.
I see, I don't want to say what it is, but famous person selling his house. I probably shouldn't bring that up. Let people live their own lives. Let us get involved.
It's true.
Oh, by the way, speaking of which, big meeting went on. Zoom meeting, all the biggity bigs around. The flowers went to, are you ready for this?
Yes.
And I mean, extreme love went to the producers of the Bennington show, Chris Stanley and Deb, for their work with The Wall and beyond.
Wow, you guys.
It was a big meeting.
Big meeting, and how did you take it? Because you're not good, Chris,
Yeah,
at people
that's
saying nice things to you.
I tried to ignore the nice things and try to put it back on them. I tried to put it back on them and how great a job they were doing.
Well, they did do a great job,
Yeah,
but
sure.
the fact that you guys picked it up and made it happen,
Yes.
and it's been fantastic, and we all love it.
And that helped integrate it into the show, not just a website. I feel like it
Yeah.
was like great on so many different levels, and flowers deserved.
Flowers deserve. Deb, did you let it come in? Did you accept it?
I did. I didn't speak, though, in the meeting. Chris spoke a couple times. I just put up thank you kind of gestures.
Oh, thank you gestures. Nice. Now, Earl, what did you say during this meeting?
I did not say anything in the meeting.
Were you at the meeting?
I was listening in the meeting, but not at the meeting.
What do you mean?
He was listening at the meeting, but not at the meeting.
So you were just your ear to the door? What happened there?
How's that possible?
It was in my ear to the Zoom, and I wasn't on the Zoom.
Why weren't you on the Zoom?
Why weren't you on the Zoom?
It was a producer's meeting.
Chris, you're treating him like Hattie over here in the
I
back
am
row.
not treating him. First of all, I had no idea Earl was even still here. I saw Deb on her box on the Zoom. I was.
You saw Deb's box? Oh, contact HR.
Please
Flowers
don't.
removed.
The land's been salted on my end.
Why weren't you at the meeting, Earl?
I didn't think I was going to be at the meeting, but I ended up being at the meeting.
But why didn't you turn on your fucking camera?
Yes, why didn't you just join in, ask for a link, say, hey, I'm actually here. I'd love to link in.
So we were well represented at the meeting, and I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to be.
Is
like
it?
that
Well,
person.
let me ask: is it because you have had nothing to do with The Wall?
Yeah, I mean, they've done an amazing job with it.
I
and
understand.
have
Why didn't you just put your head in and go, "Who Bennington"? Did you guys ever hear that Norm Macdonald story? It's my favorite story of all time, and I always think of Earl when that comes up because he has no idea what's going on. Who Bennington? All right, Earl, you belong in the meeting. You are a producer.
Yes.
not. You are 100% correct, and
I know I am.
And
But here's the thing. You could have been in there waving like Deb, trying to push stuff off of you like Chris. I'm glad that you guys, because you did a bang-up job on
Yeah,
this.
you absolutely did.
You guys did a bang-up job.
See, this
See?
is you. You can't let
All
it
you
in.
have to say, it was an honor to do a fucking great
Yeah.
job. An honor.
was.
I've
It is.
had the time of my life.
And then remember, me and Ron learned this great trick, and I feel like it has helped me so much since we learned this. But you can always say that that's an honor coming from you, or this is a big compliment. That's a way to say, I accept it, and it means so much because of the way I value you.
Who Bennington?
But instead, you go, I'm just a piece of shit. I'm a garbage boy.
I didn't say that.
That's how you act when you get a compliment, though, dude. Every single time. You're like, I can't even believe I didn't shit my pants at this meeting.
Here's the thing. I think Chris is superstitious, and that if he says thank you or this is great, a bad thing is coming.
That is a very good observation, and that definitely is part of it, which I don't know if that's acknowledging it gives it more power or less, regardless.
But the thing is, you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you don't want to accept a compliment because that means you're going to have to accept the blame pretty soon. But here's the thing. Gail, you know how you tried to get me a therapist for why I'm going through this?
Mm-hmm.
What if I do accept the therapist, but I'll just act like Chris Stanley's life is my life, and then we'll be able to find out exactly what he needs to do to feel better.
I think at the very least it could be entertaining. And I love this idea. Actually, this is kind of a cool premise.
It is.
Yeah. That could be our new show called The Cool Premise.
Are you superstitious, do you feel? Like, would you say you're yeah.
I have a fair amount of superstition.
Yeah.
I don't like when somebody splits the pole. I like when we walk on the same side of the pole.
My husband is the same. So I wonder
that's
if
from
the
where
area.
we're from, yeah. My mom was always that way. She would say, don't fucking, split the pole. But it's funny. I think a lot of people, you find out you're superstitious on days where you're like, hey, this is, like, you ever notice, like, when you get on a plane, you will see people touch the outside of the plane before they go in.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had friends say they have to make sure that they piss in the plane so that the plane doesn't crash. And
Okay.
I've heard that from more than one
But why would
person.
the pee keep it afloat?
It doesn't matter. You just have to do that thing. You pissed once, it didn't crash, you pissed again.
Sure.
But I've heard that pilots are pretty superstitious, which did not make me feel good.
No, I'd like them to actually be pretty practical
Yeah.
and technical people.
Do you have a superstitious thing that you do, Gail?
Yeah, I do a lot of superstitious things. And I do think that, like, the idea of sharing something before you know that the news is
Right.
solid, like, is that superstitious, or is it like I just don't want to have to explain it later that thing fell through? I don't know. It's like one of those things
Right.
that I don't know which one came first, but I do feel like I'm not going to talk about this with most people because it's not a done deal yet.
Looks like I'm getting a new job, and then you fuck it by
Yes,
saying that.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Really, I'm God forbid, a salt spill. I've never once seen a grain of salt spill without throwing it over my left shoulder. I just don't feel comfortable. Like, could I just try to see what it would like if I didn't? Yeah,
No,
I could. But like, why would I start now? And then something terrible would happen.
No. Since Chris grew up a railbird at the track, I mean, there's a lot of superstition that takes place on the
Right.
track.
Yes.
So much so.
Guys won't take a $50 bill.
No.
Oh, that's like a hex bill? You wouldn't want that
I
one?
don't know. None of them take the 50. They're like, no,
Interesting.
Yeah.
don't fucking even try to get it near me.
It's that grant.
And not just at the track, anywhere.
Anywhere. Don't touch me with a $50 bill. Really interesting.
What else for you and your dad?
My dad would always be like, if the race is starting, the program needs to be in his back left pocket, not in his
Makes
hand,
sense.
not anywhere else. Right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
And until the race is over, then he can then look at and manipulate said program. He was really on it about that. Like, when I was a little kid, I picked up the program. He's like, "What are you doing? Take that out of your hands."
That's hilarious. Now, in sports, the most kind of superstitious, paranoid sport, baseball, by far. I never see basketball players doing a bunch of weird shit. Either the football players will pray, think that takes care of everything. Baseball players are doing all kinds of shit. on the
Right.
way.
Yeah. You know, this is an interesting one and almost similar to pilots. And I saw this first mentioned on Grey's Anatomy, again on The Pit. And then I asked a friend who worked in a hospital, hey, I've seen this on 2 different shows now. Is this actually a hospital superstition? She confirmed that you do not say ever, oh, slow night tonight. You never say that. Because if you say like, oh, it's kind of quiet night, slow night, you're asking for like a mass casualty event, something crazy is going to happen, something is just going to, and every time they're like, no, but if you say it, it turns. Now, it's just one of those things, but you know it.
I was going in to have surgery, and I heard the doctor yelling, "Where's my lucky hat?" I fucking never have had a person survive unless I'm wearing that hat. My last things I was yelling, "Get him the hat!" They were putting me to sleep. I'm like, "Get him the fucking hat!"
Please, oh my god! Because there's a guy who was like that on Grey's Anatomy, but they don't call it a hat, but it's like whatever. There's a little like head covering, and he had like a special one. And I'm like, it's a weird thing to be superstitious when you're a doctor. I
don't like it. I want a doctor to be superstitious. No, I want him to be confident.
Yes.
Look, this is another one that's interesting. And I'm so much so that I have to kind of think about where I am. The term, the Scottish play. You never want to say the title of the Scottish play, which is a Shakespeare play.
Right.
I've literally been in the studio and went, is this not theater of the mind? And this is our stage. And I feel like that's too hexy and weird, and I shan't say it. But if I was just outside, of course.
Yeah, why not?
By the way, remember we were saying yesterday about Marty Short's thing not being a documentary?
Mm-hmm.
Adrian wrote, well, it was terrific. You know, I see what you're saying, but it was terrific. I go, I'm going to watch it.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? But it's a show. And then she said, this might be controversial, but I think that the early SCTV was a better cast than SNL. I'm like, yeah, those guys were as thick as thieves with each other. They all worked together and knew
the
each
chemistry
other
is like, yeah.
before they did those shows and then after they did those shows. The weird thing is all those guys practically grew up together.
Yeah. I mean, that is like one of the strangest, most kind of serendipitous, like how could this be?
Yeah.
All of those folk coming together in Canada all of the same time. Same
And
place.
Chicago. They
true,
played both
both
of those cities because they were both second city.
Right.
But there was also a play that came to New York, Godspell, in like, I don't know, 74 or something, that, you know, a bunch of them were in and Paul Schaefer was running the music. And that's supposed to be
that's bizarre,
a documentary or just a fun thing. It was like they all knew each other. Like if you went into the cellar at one time, you would just see these fucking kids, but then later you find out, oh, it's Joe List and Mark Norman and Sam Morril, you know. But there were times that they were all just waiting together on open mic nights. And no one had said, all of us are going to get fucking huge.
We're all going to be killing
They're
it.
all crushing it now. All right, I think we got to get ready to wrap this one up today. I mean, it wasn't the show we wanted to have, but at least we gave away a prize. By the way, what did the guy choose that won the prize? Earl.
That's on Earl.
Got to contact him to see which one he wants.
Dude, you got to do that before the show. We make an announcement.
I would have liked to have known what he picked.
What don't you know about how to fucking sell a show?
That's my bad, Ron.
No, I get it.
My bad.
I made a mistake. I should have had Chris do the whole fucking thing.
I'm gonna call
He
Cameron.
fucking crushed it. All right, that's it for us. We're back in here on Monday. But tomorrow, I didn't even make this horrible spy report that a friend of the show passed away. Kitty Bruce, who was Lenny Bruce's daughter,